Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to talk about things like drugs and things like cigarettes and things like drinking alcohol. I'm going to talk about it in a positive way that people should really get better and feel really good about themselves without those things. Now, I'm not saying you need to stop them cold turkey or that you should never do them or that you'd be better off without them because some people really enjoy those things. And why not? Sometimes it's fun, right? But there's a difference between having fun, there's a difference between having fun with it, and a difference between having it be detrimental and really hard on you and really unhealthy. There's a total difference. Sometimes you might be like, this is really fun. I feel really drunk or I feel like a bit tipsy and it's really nice and everything's so much more fun. Or I feel like I'm out of my shell more because I'm not drinking or because I'm drinking a little bit. Fine, that's great. But some people really say, a lot of people are very dependent on it because maybe they were told once, oh, you can't dance on your own because you need to drink to do that, or you can't do this because, or you have to be like me because if you're not, you don't fit in, that kind of thing, right? And who knows who that person is, right? Like they could be a baller one day or a cheerleader one day, and then all of a sudden, if they do too much, they might age dramatically. And so, why would you follow what they say? You know, but but at the end of the day, it's important that we care for people like that because it's really a struggle. It's not easy to be that way for sure. You don't want people to have a hard time. You want people to get out of those situations. Like for me, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke. So for me, I really am very grateful that I'm not into those things. 'Cause I'm really not. Like I'd rather do videos for like 5 hours straight than smoke one cigarette. But um, but some people can't help but do it all the time. And so for them, you really care about the person, you want them to do well. Now remember guys, I'm not saying don't do any drugs at all or don't drink or don't smoke at all. I don't. I personally think it's better for me. But if you guys are like that and you enjoy it, you thoroughly enjoy it, why not, right? Sometimes you can really enjoy it and it's harmless. And there's a lot of people that do a lot of drugs or a lot of drinking and a lot of smoking, but for them they're okay. They have a good system where they can tolerate a lot more and they don't get sick ever. Maybe they age very long, they have a long life and they really enjoy it. So by all means go ahead, if you aren't harming anyone, obviously if you have secondhand smoke there. But if you're doing it within distance from people that are non-smokers and you're doing it in a way that's healthy, to some extent. I mean, you're not doing it all the time, and you're okay with your life being that way, and you enjoy it, and it really helps you. Sure, by all means, go ahead. Some people really can do a lot of things and be very successful drinking and smoking and doing drugs. Now, for me, I don't like it for me, but that's because I'm just kind of the kind of person that likes to just do, and do, and I like to get things done. And for me, smoking and drinking is not something I like to get done because it doesn't seem like it's productive for me. It's not productive for me. I don't feel like I'm gonna get lots done if I do those things because they're time wasters in my opinion. Um, but at the end of the day, we all love people and we all think people are swell and we really enjoy them. So you have to embrace if they're addicted to something or whatever. You want to make sure you treat them well and they get through it, all right? Because some people really go and stop smoking and stop drinking and they get better and you're just thinking to yourself, I'm glad I treated them well. Like, I don't judge, right? Like I would never judge anyone at all for smoking or drinking or doing drugs. I do not judge. I mean, at some point, if they're doing a lot of it, they may be at the point where they're not healthy. So, they may feel judged by everyone because they're doing so much, and maybe their mind is not as solid as it once was. But for the most part, and even if someone does a ton of it, I'm not going to be judgmental. For me, I don't like to be judgmental. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like to judge. I don't like to. There are people that I can easily judge. Marco's a gorgeous guy, Mileena's a gorgeous girl. I've never Mileena in public, but Mileena's a gorgeous girl. She can be a snob, she can judge all day long, but I really don't like it. I really like to leave people alone, because you know, at the end of the day, everyone can become a star, everyone can be famous, everyone can do what they want, everyone can make their lives amazing just by doing one change of habit. You know, it's funny because you see someone that's overweight sometimes, and you're thinking to yourself, they will always be that way. But you know what? There are some people that really, really transform. And if you were mean to them when they were overweight, you're like, why was I like that? They're so gorgeous now. Maybe you're overweight now, right? So why would you be rude to that person when they're gorgeous now? And they're just snuffing you off and thinking, oh my goodness, you were rude to me, get away. You know, so at the end of the day, is it really nice to be that way? No, it's not. And you know, at the end of the day, you're like, it's surprising. Like, some people really do look. It's just a weight thing, right? They might have a terrible look as a bigger person, and they lose maybe 100 pounds, and they're gorgeous, right? So you know, like even Adele. Adele was a very gorgeous woman, but she obviously had some relationship trouble before the loss of her weight, you know, and now she's thin, you know. So really, at the end of the day, oh sorry guys, at the end of the day, we're like, good for her, you know, awesome Adele. Um, so I love Adele, by the way, she's so awesome. But yes, so anyway, we really want to encourage people to feel good about themselves at all places, you know. Don't judge anyone because you never know. Somebody might be someone you don't think is ever going to make it in this world. You think they're never going to do well. You think they're always going to be a loser or whatever. Maybe they're not a loser. Maybe you're always thinking they're going to be someone that's not going to be famous or whatever. And you feel, you know what, I can make fun of this person. No, you cannot, because even if they are the biggest loser ever, or they are whatever, you can't make fun of them because you never know what they're going to become, and maybe they never become that. But then you're being critical of someone that's not in a good position. How does that make you look, right? And like I said, guys, I'm not going to be judgmental if you guys are rude or you have a certain persona. There are some women out there that believe it's fine to be mean at all times. They consider themselves, you know, bitchs, and they like it because they enjoy it, because they want to be that way. Some people choose to be that way because that's their persona. They choose to be a diva or bitchy. They want to be that way, and that's what they like to do. So, you know, at the end of the day, are you going to argue that? Like, if that's who they want to be, then, you know, when you're talking to them, if they're like that with you, well, then clearly they either don't like you, or they do like you, but that's their persona, right? So, at the end of the day, are we really going to judge that, you know? I mean, for me, I don't like to be like that, or well, I guess I'm never Mileena, but I don't like to be an ASSHOLE ever. But sometimes I can't help it because I'm very busy, or I'm stuck in a certain way and somebody's really annoying, but I'm not trying to be an ASSHOLE. I'm just very frustrated, or I'm impatient or whatever, but for the most part, you're not going to see me be like that because I'm extremely patient. Like, I'm very nice to everyone almost all the time. Like, more so than most people are, like I would say. But yes, but sometimes you're like, you see someone that's a total, you know, ASSHOLE, and you're like, okay, like, you don't have to be that way, but that's how they like to be. So if they're like that with you, then maybe they don't like you, or maybe they do, and they can't get out of it, or maybe you never know. But the whole point is you can't really criticize because that's how they want to be. So if that's how they want to be, or maybe they had a bad day or whatever, right? But that's how they want to be. Then at the end of the day, if they're happy with it, they might not be, but if they are, then let it happen, because you know what, at the end of the day, do you really care what's going on with them? If you have everything in your life that you want and you're not really worried about what they're doing, then that's probably better for you, right? You know, I always found that when I was younger, this is something I don't do now, but when I was younger, I was always like, if one person's mean to me, I didn't like it, you know, so I was always upset. But you know, you have to look at the people that are nice to you, right? Like, let's say 10 people are mean to you, but 20 people are nice to you. Well, the 20 people that are nice to you, you can't ignore that, right? You have to really focus on that because that's what got you through the day, and that really encouraged you to be happy and do well. So, you know, at the end of the day, you have to just focus on the positives. Now, for me, I like that doesn't bother me. Like, negative things or people that are rude doesn't bother me because I'm very happy in general. So I just feel for them. I feel like maybe they're not happy themselves or whatever. But But we all want to be loved and we all want to feel good. So sometimes people like that kind of persona. Maybe somebody is a person that likes to be that way because the people that they're around like to be treated that way. Not that I'm saying people would, but some people don't like, some people like the aggressive type, or some people like, really rude people. Some people just like that. They gravitate towards it. Like, if you see someone that's really rude, you might be like, oh my goodness, I want to date that person. Some people are like that. Or they're like, oh, if they're so mean to everyone, and then maybe they'll be like that with me. And that some people are really interested in that kind of thing with dating and everything, so they like that. But I mean, for me, I like people to be nice, but I mean that's just me. But I mean, and I think the majority of people are like that. But to some extent, does it really matter if someone's really rude? Like if they're like that and they want to be that way, then there's obviously a reason they chose to be that way. Maybe they've got something wrong, and maybe they think that's the better way to be, and that could be the better way to be to them, right? And that might be the better way to be for them because they attract people that like that kind of persona, and they're happy with that. Who's to say that everybody likes people to be nice? Not everybody does. So, and I'm just stretching here, guys. I'm just trying to be like, because I mean, you see it, right? You watch a video, and it's like the most nastiest person ever. They're so rude, and you're thinking to yourself, "Holy, like, where do you get off?" And then, but you got to think to yourself too. There's somebody out there that's like, "I love this video. This video is so good. This person is so rude. I love it." And they love it, and so you're like, well, that person loves it, so if they love it, then they could be friends with that person, right? Like some people really like people like that. They really do. Some guys want to date a girl that's a total bitch. They really, really like that. So for them, it's all good. And they got their wish, and everybody's happy because if people that are nice people that like nice people get treated like that by them, they can just ignore it, right? So it's not a big deal, really. Anyway, guys, I've talked a lot. All right, guys, I really enjoyed talking apparently, but the funny thing is I don't talk a lot in my personal life. I'm very quiet, but on YouTube I talk a ton, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys really felt that was fun. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bye now.